If you're looking for a decadent dessert to cook up at home or maybe while you're away like we are here on Bruny Island, go no further because I am going to cook with you our golden syrup dumplings spiked with a little whiskey that we picked up on the road. This is such an easy dessert. You can see why Australians love it. What makes this even more impressive is that you can cook it on the barbecue in a beautiful location like this. We've got the water lapping at the edge here, surrounded by bushland. Absolutely stunning. Let's get into it. The first thing we need to do is start with some self-raising flour. I have a cup here. This recipe serves about 4 people. I'm going with a pinch of salt. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to rub in this butter. Get my hands in there because I am going to be rubbing this in with my fingers anyways. Now this is as hard as this recipe gets, just working this in until it turns into a fine breadcrumb kind of mixture. Now we can just go in with 1 egg, just crack that and then give it a light little whisk. This will just make it easier to incorporate into our mix. Perfect, so pour the egg in. And then we just have 2 tablespoons of milk. Pour that in. Now we're just going to mix this until that dumpling dough comes together, but we really don't want to overwork it. Beautiful. All that flour has soaked in. It's okay if it's not completely combined. We just want that dough good enough so we can roll it into balls. Now that we have our dough mixture, we can just lightly flour our hands and then roll this into about 12 balls. Beautiful. Let's just pinch off a little bit, roll it, and that is it. Our dumplings are all done. We'll just set them aside and get on to our golden syrup sauce. So just inside our Weber Traveller here, I've set it up with the trivet and our sauce. We're just going to preheat it on high for 1 to 2 minutes. Now that our pan is warm, I'm just going to go in with our butter. We're just going to melt the butter over high heat for a minute. Now that our butter has melted, we can go in with our brown sugar. Pop that in. And then our sticky, sweet, rich golden syrup. And we can just combine that together, let the sugar melt. And then we can slowly add our water. We want to create a beautiful syrup to poach our dumplings in. And then the last ingredient for our golden syrup sauce is a little bit of whiskey. Now, of course, if you've got kids around, they may not like the flavour, so just leave it out, but we just want about a tablespoon in there. Now that we have all the ingredients in there for our golden syrup sauce, we can go in with our dumplings. So just carefully place them in, and that is all that is needed. I'm just going to turn the traveller down to low heat and we'll leave these to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. They'll soak up all that syrup, they'll puff, poach, be delicious. All that I'm gonna do now is sit back and relax and enjoy this view. Golden delicious caramel sweetness is filling the air at the moment. I can hear these dumplings bubbling away. You have to come check these out because these are cooked. Have a look at that. The dumpling has puffed up, started to absorb all of that syrup. We've got the syrup bubbling away. We'll take this off the heat and just leave it to cool and finish soaking up that beautiful sauce. I am way too excited to tuck into these. We'll just scoop a couple out. And then to finish, some beautiful, thick, local double cream, or of course you could use ice cream. Slop that on top. Absolutely delicious. Before I tuck into these, I'd just like to do a quick shout out to Julie, who works really hard in our product testing team. She has perfected this recipe so you can cook this when you get away and Weber with your Weber Traveller. Right, taste test. Yum. That whiskey is amazing in here. Holy moly.